I don't believe that there is such a thing as too much authenticity.
You see, at a point in my podcast, the Obehi podcast, I was trying to say, but how do I differentiate myself now? How do I sort of lay out my podcast? One of the things that I came up with is that I am going to pay attention to the person I have in front of me. I want to think of it. That is what the podcast is about. Sharing our story. Not sharing just the one that we have prepared, but sharing the one that is really about us. Our authentic self, our real story.
Rather than people thinking, am I being too authentic? The question should be, how do I channel it?
It's the experience that matters, because you can have the same plumber in South London doing the same work as a guy in North London, but the experience will be completely different. You know why? Because humanity is not only similar in scope, but also different in scope. And once we embrace those differences for that which makes us whole, not only will it make them whole, it will make us whole, because again, the one thing that interconnects us all with our very humanity.
Hi, and thank you for checking out this short clip from Obehi Podcast. I'm Obehi Ewanfo, the host of the Obehi Podcast. This short clip was created from a full episode where we dive deep into this conversation. To see the entire video, all you need to do is to click on the link in the description of this video. Now, while you are there, I want to share something with you quickly. Are you a purpose-driven entrepreneur? Do you want to cut across the noise and attract the right audience, leveraging the power of storytelling? Now pay attention. I'm currently working on a signature program to help you own your story and stand out for the competition. It's a 5-step journey to help reshape your professional and business narrative so you can drive success and stand out in the competition. And in less than 90 days. The link is what you see on your screen, academy.aclasses.org/story. Now this is what we have understood. Storytelling is the most powerful instrument that is known to man. And this is what this could mean to you. You could either choose to own your story and leverage it to amplify your message and whatever you represent in this world, or some other person could own that story. The choice is yours. So why not take advantage of your story and use it wherever you are, whether you are in business environment or you are a professional individual who want to be able to build your influence and leave a legacy behind because you represent something. You are owning your story. You are somebody whose story is important. So the choice again is yours. Now let's get started with this short clip.
So when you all put that together and see how everything is interconnected to one another, then we can not only lead our ways in a better way and lead our life in a better way, but even how we even connect and lead others. Because again, if we make it about them and not about us, and we put it on their timetable, not on ours, I kid you not, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to change the game in and of itself. But like I said, my call to action for you guys today after this call is go out to meet somebody you may not even know and ask them, who are you? I don't want to know what you do and why you do it. Because again, we have done the do for all too long. And I understand the do matters. I get that. I understand that. But if we start to really know who people are and understand not only why they do it and what they have been passion-driven, purpose-driven, or from a place of just selling something, that whole experience will be completely different than what you probably have been led to believe. Because granted, we sell everything on this planet, one way of shape, matter, or form. But it's the experience that matters, because you can have the same plumber in South London doing the same work as a guy in North London, but the experience will be completely different. You know why? because humanity is not only similar in scope, but also different in scope. And once we embrace those differences for that which makes us whole, not only will it make them whole, it will make us whole, because again, the one thing that interconnects us all with our very humanity. So I love this great and engaging conversation. Please reach out to me. I'd love to have a one-on-one with each and every single one of you. You have a marvelous Monday. Make it your day, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Chris, very much. That is a beautiful injection there. It's really a beautiful one. In fact, it appeared that you were really like talking to me in a particular way. You see, at the point in my podcast, the Obehi podcast, I was trying to say, but how do I differentiate myself now? How do I sort of lay out my podcast? One of the things that I came up with is that I am going to pay attention to the person I have in front of me. And that led me to actually do a podcast that is in-depth. Instead of sort of rushing through some few questions that I will ask you, I'm going to ask you 2 or 3 questions, then we'll just do that, then we are done. Okay, ciao, bye-bye. I don't do that. I take the time. The podcast actually is set up like this. The first series of questions is about the person, which is, who are you? Where are you coming from? Your background, your childhood. You see, as I continue to lay out and I'm solidified in that approach, I come to think back to where I'm coming from, my childhood, my growing up, my background. As a person, I found a lot of value in that. In that, I am intentionally interested in hearing your story. And this is another thing that I do in the Obehi podcast. Is that at the end of the episode, I just take a few moments to ask the person, but what is your feeling? What did you feel here? Which, of course, I have also put out there for people to listen to. Because I believe that when we pay attention to the person that we are talking to, by this time, we're talking about listening. Instead of just talking, we are paying attention and listening to the person in front of us, trying to understand who they are. For us to be able to connect will become much easier. So I think it is important what you said there, Barry, that we need to ask the people, who are you? Because if we don't know who you are, I think it is going to be difficult to understand why you are doing what you are doing. Because we will understand what you are doing. That is no problem about that. But we could never be able to get the meaning behind why you are doing what you are doing. Because this simple approach that I adopt in the Obehi podcast have helped very many episodes to go in a direction we didn't even plan. When I secure an episode with the person, I say, okay, we are going to do interview. We can sort of rub our mind to say, okay, this is what we are going to talk about. But in many occasions, by the time I start asking you, tell me about your background, from there we move to your grandparent, then we move to your parent and all of that, a different world will open for us. And at the end of the day, we will all feel very good about that. I got to think of it. That is what the podcast is about. Hearing our story. Not sharing just the one that we have prepared, but sharing the one that is really about us, our authentic self, our real story, those stories that are really deep inside of us. Because again, story is powerful, or storytelling, if you want to put it like that. And coming to really look at authenticity, today we are looking at how do we blend it, how do we balance it in the sense that we are sharing story that the people are not going to find themselves in. Because if you just share anything because it is authentic, because it is true, you might end up putting away the people. I don't know if that makes sense to somebody. So the question we are trying to respond to here is, how much should we leverage authenticity in our story? And what is too much? And what is less? What is more? I think that very fine line is what we're actually going to be navigating today. Thank you for checking out this video. Are you getting enough value from it? You see, this video was created for the purpose of adding value to you. So if this video make any sense to you, let me know in the comment section below. I'm interested in understanding what you take away from this video and if it makes sense to you, so we can provide more. Now let's return to the video.
Yes, it's always a pleasure to be here. I'm excited to be here all the time because the conversations are conversations that I absolutely love. Personally, anything storytelling, I believe, is exciting. And I haven't found a reason not to think it's exciting. With that said, if you're just listening to my voice for the first time, I am Hannah Diaspora and I'm a brand storyteller. So it's really, really in line with what I do on a daily basis. And it's always a pleasure to have you here. Everyone that has joined us, we appreciate you for being here. It's always a pleasure to be in the midst of the greats like Mr. Eni, Mr. Izu, and Mr. Obehi. Thank you so much all for being here. With that said, in line with today's conversation, I'm going to start with something rather shocking, right? I don't believe that there is such a thing as too much authenticity. And I'll explain. I say this to say that rather than people thinking, am I being too authentic? The question should be, how do I channel it? With that said, being authentic is really being genuine and real, right? And you want to be real in the words that you use. You want to be real in the messaging. You want to be real in your content. You want to be genuine. You want for people to have a sense of who you are and is consistent to what you're putting out. However, I think that the point that we are trying or should make should be, is it too much information rather than are you being too genuine? Because I don't feel like I've met somebody who I'm like, oh, this person is too genuine, and I have a problem with that. I believe that regardless of how you are, regardless of your level of authenticity, whether you are too much or too little, there's always a market for you. There are people out there who appreciate your level of genuineness, right? And so it comes down to, how do you channel that genuinity? How do you channel that authenticity? In what ways are you being authentic, and how are you utilizing it for your business? Which is what we're talking about today, is how can you balance that authenticity in business? Well, with that said, really look at what line of business do I have? Who is my content for? So these are like separate key points that you should have at the back of your mind. Once you have found a clear understanding of what line of business you're really doing, who you're communicating with on a daily basis, whether it's through your social media or through your website or with investors, people that you are going to be seeing, constantly or consistently. Once you have that clear picture, then you want to look at what kind of stories you're sharing, because we're going back to the title today, right? Business storytelling. What kind of stories am I sharing? Is it appropriate for the people that I'm speaking with? Because here's what I found, especially here on LinkedIn. I found that a lot of the times people share real, genuine stories, okay? But is it for the people that truly matter? Remember that in business, you're not just speaking to everyone. That's why we talk about your target market. We talk about, you've done the research, market research. I know who I'm speaking to. I know their age limit. I know what they'll be doing right now. I have an idea of what they do as an activity. Once you've done that, is the story really speaking to them, those people from your research? Is the story really for them? Can they appreciate that story? That's the fine difference between just sharing stories for the sake of or sharing stories for business.